Welcome everyone to the JRPG lineup of 2016. I am of course your JRPG enthusiast, Shadow Elite. So, a couple of disclaimers before I honestly start this. This is a list made of JRPGs that are most likely to come to North America and Europe in 2016. They have either been confirmed for 2016 or have a really strong possibility of being released in 2016. So, no games like Kingdom Hearts 3 because that's obviously not coming out in 2016. Also, look at the upload date of this video. This video was made around that date, so any JRPG announced to be released after this video is uploaded will not be included on this list. Obviously. It's also possible that even before this video is uploaded, I could have missed a game or two. I'm not perfect. I try to be, but I'm not. So how this is going to work is I will have the name of the game on screen so you can see it clearly, and I will talk about the JRPG for a little bit, talk about my experience with it and the series that it might be a part of, and say whether or not I'm going to buy it. I might have more to say about some games than others, but that's just the way it is. So with all that out of the way, let's begin the JRPG lineup of 2016. Enjoy. And the first game up is Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Now guys, I have never ever been a fan of Digimon. If you ever ask me between Pokemon and Digimon, I'm always going to choose Pokemon. But this Digimon game honestly has me intrigued. I like what I saw when I played it at New York Comic Con, and the gameplay, the art style, everything about it for the most part seems like something I could easily play. The character designs really got me because it's the same designer for the Devil Survivor games, and the same guy that does the Durarara anime. So really excited to play this one. Honestly didn't expect to be playing a Digimon game, but I definitely will be picking this up in early 2016. Next up we have Persona 5. Now I'm not actually 100% sure if Persona 5 is going to be coming overseas next year, but it definitely should be coming out in Japan in 2016. Who knows if that's actually going to happen, but if it does come out in Japan in 2016, I could honestly realistically see it coming out maybe a couple of months after, if Atlas is being nice about it and honestly is doing the translation and the audio work for English as they are developing the Japanese version. But that's extreme wishful thinking on my part. Honestly, I think it's going to be coming out in Japan in summer of 2016, and then we might get it early the following year. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because Persona 5 is without a shadow of a doubt my most anticipated JRPG, most anticipated game of all time. And I simply cannot wait to play this game. I was hoping to play it in 2015, but as 2015 rolled along, it was kind of stupid to honestly think that it was coming out in 2015, both Japan and in English. So my guess again, hopefully it's coming out next year and we can play it next year. Calling it right now, Persona 5 will be the best JRPG ever of all time. Yeah, that's a pretty huge stretch, but you know what? I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna stick to that. Next up, we have Final Fantasy 15. Alrighty, Final Fantasy 15. Is it really coming out in 2016? I know the director of the game said that it will probably, more than likely, be released in 2016, but honestly, this is Square Enix, and I don't really trust them when it comes to release dates on virtually anything that's not really official. We've been waiting for this game now going on 10 years now. It's pretty much gonna be 10 years. Now I did buy Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, the limited edition, and I got the demo for Final Fantasy 15, and I played it. I wasn't too impressed by the game. I mean, I liked it, but I thought the battle system was a little bit stiff. I thought the animations were stiff as well, and I honestly thought the game wasn't as hyped up, as good as they hyped it up to be, but it was a demo, so it was very much a demo in every sense of the word. So maybe, just maybe, Square Enix is fine-tuning the game, making it better, making the interface better, making everything more awesome, and getting that frame rate possibly up to 60 frames, because that would be great and awesome. But Final Fantasy 15 aesthetically looks pleasing. It's got a lot of detail. The car looks great. The character models look awesome. Hopefully this will be a wait that was worth waiting for. A game that was worth waiting for. Next up, we have Star Ocean 5. Probably one of the most anticipated games for me for at least 2016. Star Ocean 5 came out of left field, and I honestly didn't think a Star Ocean game would ever ever come out. But Star Ocean 5, I'm looking forward to this one a lot. It wants to do the seamless battle thing, in which it looks pretty good, but I feel in Tales of Vesperia didn't quite do it right, so I'm hoping Star Ocean 5 does it correctly. Now, it does seem that they are copying and pasting some things about Star Ocean 4, some menu items, some designs, some interfaces, some attacks and skills, but that doesn't seem too bad. It seems like the whole game looks really, really awesome, and it's come to what I expect from a Star Ocean game. I just hope the story and the characters are engaging enough so that they're not as bad as Star Ocean 4, and really, you don't have to be that good to be better than Star Ocean 4 story and characters wise. Okay. Next up, we have Project Cross Zone 2. Project Cross Zone is a strategy RPG that has many companies' characters mixed into one to create one huge, awesome fan service for us fans. And I played the first Project Cross Zone, and I gotta admit, it was great, and it was awesome to see all these different characters from different games and different companies all come together to fight. But I gotta admit, it was really repetitive. It got to a point where at the end there where I didn't even feel like beating it, because it was just the same stuff over and over and over and over again. But I am looking forward to this one because I do like the battle system in Project Cross Zone. I do love the sprites, and I love seeing them kicking ass all the time. It's just the creators did promise that they would mix it up this time, and that you will have something to do while in battle to keep the experience a lot more fresher and more engaging. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they're keeping through on that promise. But to be honest, this kind of looks like more of the same, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Next up, we have Fire Emblem Fates. This is a game that I have so much mixed feelings about that I don't even know how to feel about it. 3 versions to get the full story, and then you're breaking up characters and whatnot, and all this other stuff is going on. But Fire Emblem Awakening creeped its way up to my top 10 JRPGs of all time, so of course I'm looking forward to the sequel. So I should first explain myself. Fire Emblem Conquest and Fire Emblem Birthright are 2 different games. They're going to have 2 different storylines with different characters, separate games. 1 game apiece will cost full price, and then if you want to download the other, you can do it at a reduced price after you buy one of the versions. I believe that's how they're doing it. Then there's going to be a 3rd scenario to the game, so technically there's 3 versions of the game going out there that you have to buy all 3 to get the full scope of the story, in which I'm just like, really? You couldn't do this all on one? What is this, Final Fantasy VII Remake? Anyway, I just got into Fire Emblem with Awakening, and I love the strategy RPG style of it. I love the customization, the fact that couples along with their children will have their inherited stats, skills, and it's just a great way to customize the party to your liking. That's what I really liked about Fire Emblem Awakening. So hopefully in Fates, they'll keep it more of the same but add more stuff to make it even better. Next up, we have Mega Dimension Neptunia Victory 2. Which, why did they have to change it from Hyper to Mega? Hyper Dimension to Mega Dimension. I like Hyper Dimension more. Anyway, the Neptunia franchise doesn't seem to be giving up anytime soon, and with this new entry on the PS4, it seems that they're just gonna keep going with it because people like me are still gonna buy it, even though technically I'm kind of tired of it, but I'll just keep buying it because, well, I like it. It's funny. They break the 4th wall all the time. The actual gameplay isn't too bad. And I gotta admit, the characters are fun to watch, even though they are kinda one-dimensional. It's still funny. And the games are indeed funny because they're a personification of the console war between the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Wii. The Wii U kinda still exists in this console war generation, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Probably. Anyway, I'm looking forward to playing the next entry into this crazy series once again. Next up, we have Gang Yang E Boon Roku. What the fuck? What is that? Hashtag gang? I don't know. It's Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem, and God, I hope they localize the name of the game and give it something a little bit more simpler and actually more better, more awesome. That little rant aside, I will be calling it Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem. So this game came kind of out of left field when it was announced in 2014 that a collaboration with Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem would be happening. We all thought something a little bit different, but not quite what we got. In retrospect, we got a game that's pretty much an idol simulator RPG persona thing going on. I don't know, don't quote me on that. I'm still gonna buy it. I like what I see. I like the way it looks. It's very colorful. It's very persona reminiscent, and it looks like a good JRPG, so I definitely will be playing it next year when it releases. Next up, we have Trillion, God of Destruction. Now this game definitely does have an interesting premise. You have to fight a boss with 1 trillion HP. That's right, 1 trillion HP. You have to train your characters, devise a strategy, and take down a boss with that much HP. So it's going to be a lot of grinding, and you can see that stats is probably going to play a very important part. So this is a Capcom hard game, so the character designs are great, very tasteful, I guess you could say, but the in-game graphics leave a little bit to be decided, but it's the PlayStation Vita, so you can't expect all that much, probably, I guess. But the game premise definitely does intrigue me. I definitely will be giving this one a buy when it comes out, because it's interesting to take down a boss with that much HP to see how much grinding and what kind of strategy you can come up with to defeat this boss. Actually, it being part of the game really sets it apart from other games in, I guess you could say, the genre, like Disgaea, who boasts enemies with 1 billion HP. To see a boss with 1 trillion HP be part of the main story is really fascinating. Definitely going to be looking forward to how this was handled in the game when it releases. Next up, we have Ni no Kuni 2. Now this is one I'm really looking forward to, because honestly, when I played the first Ni no Kuni, everybody was on that hype train, everybody was loving it. Hell, I was on that hype train too, but as I played it more, I was like, this game isn't my cup of tea. I don't know why, something about it just didn't really click with me too much. I don't know, maybe I can go back and play it now after seeing this amazing trailer of Ni no Kuni 2. Maybe I can go back and play Ni no Kuni 1 now, but this trailer that I saw of Ni no Kuni 2, oh my god, it looks phenomenal. It looks compelling. It looks beautiful. It looks I can't even describe it. It looks like a really fun game to play this time around. Not to say that the first one wasn't a fun game. It just wasn't my cup of tea. This one looks like my cup of tea, my cup of hot chocolate, my cup of coffee, and everything just mixed in there, if you know what I mean. So I'll definitely be buying this day one. Definitely be buying whatever limited edition they'll come up with. The hype is strong with this one. Hopefully it'll come through. Next up, we have Rey Giant. Now, as soon as I look at this game, I'm instantly reminded of a PS3 game called Time and Eternity. In that game, they tried to merge anime with actual gameplay, with the results being fairly mediocre. Here, I get the feeling that it's going to be done right, and by looking at the trailer, I'm already very impressed by the animations and the enemy design, and everything here looks like something I could play. It's a dungeon crawler, and I do like my fair share of dungeon crawlers, so when this comes out, I'll definitely be buying it day one to see if the animation and the gameplay work well together. I mean, I guess I could go for the story and characters, but for this one, just this one in particular, I'm more interested in the gameplay above everything else. Well, gameplay does matter above everything else in the end. Next up, we have Knights of Azure, an action role-playing game for the makers of the Atelier games. This is one that I don't really have all that much to say about. I mean, I like the way it looks. I like the action that I'm seeing in the trailers. Am I going to get it when it comes out? More than likely, but I might wait a bit to see more of the game before I honestly drop down the full price of the game. It definitely looks good. I mean, I like the character designs. They look good as with every Atelier game so far, so there's no different there, you know, it's the same developers. I guess, of course, this game would land in the Atelier way of thinking for me, because I look at Atelier games and I like what I see, but I don't feel the need to actually go out and play them soon or anytime soon. I know I'll like them, but I just don't have an urgency to play them. So really, I don't know what to say about this game. It's either I'll get it or I might not get it. I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be good. Just for me, I'm not. I'm not too much in a rush. No hype is there for me to play this game. Keeping this list moving along, next up we have NieR Automata. Now, seeing the trailer for this game, it looks freaking amazing. Platinum Games know how to make trailers, they know how to make games, and it's gotten to a point where in Platinum Games, you trust. I used to say that about another company, but we will never speak of that company ever. So while I did not play the first NieR because, well, it just didn't look very interesting to me. And at the time, nobody was telling me it was this awesome, amazing game, so I never really gave it a chance. But maybe this time I actually will. Maybe I'll actually go out and buy it this time around. But anyway, this new trailer for Automata looks great. It's running at 60 frames per second. The combos look awesome. The enemy designs look a little bit boring, but I'm hoping that's just early gameplay footage. And then you'll see some really epic boss battles like you would see in Metal Gear Rising. So again, really looking forward to Automata when it releases in 2016. Next, we have Bravely Second, the sequel to Bravely Default. It was a game that came out of left field and surprised everybody with its traditional turn-based and rather nostalgic take on the JRPG genre. I guess that's what I'm looking for in this one. But anyway, it was a great game. Everybody liked it. It was critically acclaimed and it sold rather well, even for Square Enix standards. Go figure. But why didn't I play Bravely Default? I have no clue. But this time I'm gonna make it my mission. I'm gonna make it one of my life goals. Okay, probably not, but I'm definitely going to play Bravely Second when it releases in 2016. From a gameplay standpoint and what I've played in the Bravely Default demo, it looks to be a lot more the same, but of course better and more ambitious than its predecessor. So maybe with that in mind, maybe it will ease me into the game more easily and maybe not pass it up like I did with Bravely Default. Next up, I'm actually going to put two games into one entry on this list, so live with it. Is God Eater 1 and God Eater 2, God Eater Resurrection and God Eater 2 Rage Burst. God Eater Resurrection is a remake of the 2010 PSP game God Eater, and it boasts, of course, new visuals and some new added additions and weapons. I really enjoyed God Eater 1 when it was on the PSP, and I was always sitting here waiting patiently for God Eater 2 to come out, and then it did, and then we just never got any word of it ever being released overseas. And then every time I would see gameplay for God Eater 2, I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna stay here and play God Eater 1 on my PSP to get my God Eater 2 fix, because you know Bandai Namco doesn't want to bring over anything. But now that dream has now become a reality, and God Eater 2 Rage Burst is also coming over in 2016. So it's gonna be interesting. Are they both gonna release at the same time, or are they gonna be released a week, a month, 3 months away from each other? I don't know, but I'm gonna be playing both of these, buy them both day one and playing them from start to finish, because God Eater is a good, really good hunting game, better than Monster Hunter in my opinion. But I'm not going to say anything more than that, because people in the comment section are probably going to kill me for that. But anyway, it's also worth noting that they're both going to be on the PC. That's right, the PC, in that glorious 1080p 60 frames per second. I cannot wait for this one. Next up, we have Odin Spear Leaf's Dressir. Leaf Dressir is a HD remaster of the original Odin Spear released back in 2007. And I played Odin Spear on the PS2 back in 2007, but I never actually got a chance to beat it. But this time, hopefully I'll be able to play it and complete all the character stories in the game. And of course, being part of Vanilla Warrior's line of works, you can see that Odin Spear looks amazing. I love 2D sprites, and the game looked amazing on PS2, so it at high definition, oh man, it's gonna look stunning. I cannot wait to play this one for myself. Next up, we have Final Fantasy Explorers, a hunting style game using monsters from, what's this, Final Fantasy? Whoa, did not see that one coming. Actually had the chance to play the demo at New York Comic Con, and I wasn't all that impressed by it, but it was a good game, but just not high on my list of games to play in 2016. when you get right down to it. But maybe, just maybe, I'll pick it up and give it a shot because it does have that classic Final Fantasy feel to it, kind of, and using classes from the Final Fantasy universe and monsters, you can't really go too wrong. So maybe if there's nothing else to play, I'll give this one a shot. Next up we have, well, for this one, I'm gonna do it yet again and put 2 games on one entry of this list. So, Dragon Quest VII and Dragon Quest VIII, both for the 3DS. Dragon Quest VII I didn't have a chance to play on the PS1 when it was released way back when, and I don't think I'll be playing it this time. Maybe I'll get it, I'm not sure, but to be honest, I'm a little bit more interested in Dragon Quest VIII. I did play Dragon Quest VIII on the PS2 almost to completion, but I stopped because of, well, reasons. Dragon Quest VIII, from what I played, and that was a lot mind you, was quite an amazing JRPG. I can't wait to get back to it to finish up what I started many years ago at this point. But I'm a little bit worried because playing a game on the 3DS that was once on the PS2, the resolution might be a little bit better, but you get a tad bit of blockiness and some pixelated images on the 3DS, as I experienced with Tales of the Abyss when it was on the 3DS as well, so we'll just have to see how that handles out for me. But definitely will be giving Dragon Quest VIII a shot. However, Dragon Quest VII, I could probably give that one up. I'm not sure. And the last game on this lineup to end this lineup with a bang is Tales of Vesperia. Now, being part of the illustrious Tales of series, Tales of Vesperia has some hype to live up to. At least for me, because I played Tales of Vesperia and I liked it, but it wasn't an amazing, excellent, stellar game that I thought it could have been. But Tales of Vesperia, looking at the trailer, the new trailer, oh my god, it looks freaking awesome. I mean, an actual female lead instead of the Tales of Xillia male-female lead going on. This is an actual female lead, so that's pretty much a very huge leap forward for the Tales of series. Also, it seems that the game is going for a much more darker tone than its predecessors, which is a very, very good thing because I could always get away from the common theme that the Tales of series have been going with nowadays. But the gameplay looks sweet, it looks as good as Tales of Vesperia. That's one thing I really liked about Tales of Vesperia was the combat, and this one looks like it's stepping its game up a lot. The graphics are definitely in line with Tales of Vesperia, but to be honest, I would still love to go back to the shell shadedness that was Tales of Vesperia, because oh man, Tales of Vesperia looks so beautiful even today. But yeah, Tales of Vesperia, definitely one of my most anticipated games for 2016. So guys, that is it for the JRPG lineup of 2016. It's a pretty impressive year that we're gonna get some really awesome JRPGs, but it's been like that every year since 2012, so I don't know what some people are talking about when they say JRPGs are on the rise or something like that. But this year looks to be very, very good because Persona 5 is coming out, and honestly that's the only JRPG I need for 2016. But if it gets delayed again, Atlas, I will seriously burn your company to the ground. I'm just joking. No, I'm not. I'm just joking. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. What is your most anticipated JRPG for 2016? And that's it. I will see you guys next time. Peace.